Hi, this is Nakia, and I'm a targeted individual. I want to start off my videos by just telling you why I was targeted. I was targeted for posting about the commands of God and just speaking about the fact that we should be following the commandments of God. I'm here today to talk to you about where I am now, and I'm still here. I'm back here. At first, I was into spirituality and I was dealing with the gang stalking at work and things like that. I ended up moving away from the area, and I don't go outside now, so I don't experience gang stalking. I kind of just lay low, babysit, things like that. But I wanted to talk to everybody who was being targeted and who was coming across my video. I first want to start with a scripture from Revelation chapter 12, verse 17. And that is, I'm going to pull it up right now. Quickly, I'm going to make this. Okay. And this talking about the woman and the dragon. And this is an end time prophecy. Verse 17 says, "And the dragon was angry at the woman and declared war against the rest of her children, all who keep God's commandments and maintain their testimony for Jesus Christ." That's you. Okay? So, if you're targeted and you know for a fact you're a Christian, you know for a fact you believe in Jesus Christ and you love him, that is you. You are the one they're waging war against, and this is spiritual. Don't let anybody tell you it's just some signals and it's just the government, and it could very much be that those things, but it's all rooted in spirituality. It's all rooted in what they believe in, who they follow, and it's all rooted in who you are and what you believe in and what you follow. So at least from my experience, I noticed that a lot of targeted individuals talk a lot about gang stalking, and I can't act like I was never gang stalked. I felt like I've experienced things like that at Walmart's, at church. I'm sorry, at church, kind of in a way, but at a work, especially my workplace. At my workplace, I worked in a place called Tetra Pak, and I was having some issues with the gang stalking there and the telepathy gang stalking. And one guy came up to me after I wrote a poem. In the poem, I used the word illuminated, that I was being showed things spiritually. And the guy came up to me. He was like, "Do you know what the Illuminati is?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I did know. I was like, secret knowledge. People who have secret knowledge. And then he showed me the Tetra Pak symbol, which is a triangle with a 6 inside of it. And he said it's Illuminati. And pretty much he would let me know that this workplace is affiliated. So he would kind of let me know, like, it's in hindsight. I mean, at least I know, like, I was definitely being gang stalked, and it was a 6 right in the middle of that Tetra Pak thing. Let me see. I wanted to talk about Paul's Thorn today because I don't know if I've seen any targeted individuals speak on Paul's Thorn, but since throughout my entire process of going through this targeting and spiritual warfare, I've been thinking about Paul and his thorn. I'm going to read it to you. And let's see. So, Paul's vision and his thorn in the flesh. 2 Corinthians verse 12. "This boasting will do no good, but I must go on. I will reluctantly tell about visions and revelations from the Lord. I was caught up to the third heaven 14 years ago. Whether I was in my body or out of my body, I don't know. Only God knows. Yes, only God knows whether I was in my body or outside my body. But I do know that I was caught up to paradise and heard things so astounding that they cannot be expressed in words, things no human is allowed to tell. That experience is worth boasting about, but I'm not going to do it. I will only boast about my weaknesses. If I wanted to boast, I would be no fool in doing so, because I will be telling the truth, but I don't want to do it, because I don't want anyone to give me credit beyond what they can see in my life or hear in my message. Even though I have received such wonderful revelations from God, so to keep me from becoming proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me and keep me from becoming proud." Let's stop here, and I want to ask you, targeted individuals, what is your story? If you're watching, comment below. But at any time you watch this, I want to know, because for me, I was like really searching for God, and I decided that I was wanting to search for Him, and I learned that I should be keeping the Sabbath day, and I learned that the reason that people were cursed and the reason that slavery happened was a direct curse from God Himself for not following the laws of God. And I felt convicted, like, why am I not following the laws of God? And so I started to talk about it, and then it landed me here. So in a way, it's like a revelation, you know. So it was, in a way, it was like me understanding something a lot of people in the world don't know because they're in darkness. And so I liken my target individual experience to a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me, just like Job. Job himself, um, Satan came up and he said, God said, "Where you been, Satan?" He said, "I've been looking for people to try and test." He said, "How about my servant Job?" I was asking God to please show me He was real. I was asking God to please just lift me up, make me to a true believer. I just wanted to have 100% faith and discernment, and I wanted to have all these things, these spiritual gifts, and I wanted to know, and I wonder if my targeted individual experience was my revelation. I needed to follow the commandments of God. I needed to be a light. Could that have been Paul's revelation? Other things concerning who Christ is and who God is? And then, so now, as he says, so to keep me from becoming proud, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger from Satan to torment me and keep me from becoming proud. So I'm able to be humble. What does God say? In your weakness, your faith is made perfect. So God is able to show us His strength when we're weak. So maybe God revealed to me I do need to follow the commandments of God. I need to get myself right spiritually. And I was so happy. I'm telling everybody, hey, I was actually, to be honest, I was really being really an a-hole about it. I was wanted to knock down my mom's Christmas tree. I was telling everybody, like, no. I was feeling it. I was angry. And so I think to keep me from becoming proud, God decided this would be good for me. Because I was acting wild. I was so upset about the things that I found out about spiritually, things just not being right in the world. I was upset. But here's my thorn in the flesh, and it's helping me to not become proud. I gotta be humble, and I gotta just like plead for people to hear me. I can't go around being angry, like, man, y'all see what y'all blind, y'all dumb. No, I gotta say, man, I got voices in my head. I'm like, I tried to kill myself. I gotta tell my story from the beginning and try to fill people in on what current times and revelation and things like that, and try to really humble myself to explain to them, and to people. Let's continue reading Paul's story. 3 different times I begged the Lord to take it away. Each time He said, "My grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness." So now I am glad to boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weakness and in the insults, hardship, persecutions, and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, then I am strong. I wonder if Paul didn't come right out and say, I have people tormenting me, because he didn't want people to not think that Christ was strong enough to take it away. I wonder why Paul didn't come out and tell us what the thorn in the flesh was. And then I wonder if he did. We know that God speaks in parables to all of us, and that when they speak in the books of Corinthians or Romans, they speak from experience of being God's elect. What if we're God's elect? What if we're God's holy priests? What if we are the children of the seed, the holy seed that the dragon went out to make war on, who knew we should keep the commandments of God, or who were the salt and the light of earth and had a testimony of Jesus Christ? And so Paul is the same seed, and he had the same thing that we had, a thorn in the flesh, a messenger of the devil sent to torment me and keep me from becoming proud. Remember in Job, God allowed Job to be tormented. God allowed Job to go through the hardships he went through. And in his weakness, his faith was made perfect and strong because, yeah, he spoke to some guys about it, his friends about it. He cursed the day he was born. He wasn't happy. But eventually he turned back to God and prayed and gave God all he had, all his strength and all his might. And God spoke to him and let him know the world isn't as balanced as you think it would be. Like God tells us in the scriptures, there's going to be false prophets, that the devil is ruler of the world, and that those false prophets will masquerade like light bearers, just like the Satan himself claims to be a bearer of light. We know this world is not right if we read the Bible, if we read our text. And So now that we know, we have a thorn in our flesh to keep us from becoming proud. And that keeps us from sin. If you're a target individual and you're having a hard time with this, keep watching my videos and I'll try to help you understand why being a target individual is a really good thing. It means you're God's elect. It means you're awake in a world that's still asleep. And that means that you can still save yourself and save your family. You can be a light. So just like Christ, let's boast about our weakness and say, I'm able to see. And let's not treat being a target individual as a scary thing or something that's scary or that's stopping us. But let's treat that as our gas. Let's treat that as what keeps us going every day, because we're able to experience something that most people don't believe and understand. But it helps us to know that God is real. Spiritual warfare is real, and we're fighting it. We're fighting for it. We're fighting for liberation of our people in like the spiritual eyes and ears of our family members and friends to be opened up. And so be humble in all that you do, because we're given a thorn for that reason, so we won't be too prideful. But remember, it's a gift from God, and that those who will lose their life for Christ's sakes will find their life. So I love you, target individual. Share your story with me. I'll share mine with you. I watch your videos. You watch mine. We can be a light and support for each other. But moreover, remember, we are the light and the salt of this world. You're elected, baby. So God chose you to be on his team. Be thankful and endure until the end.